A very good afternoon to all the students who are present today for the online lecture of second year BCom semester 3 for the subject Business Administration. Now, I hope that you had attended the previous lectures where we had already discussed about the first chapter being Human Resource Management, and we started with the second chapter of Unit 1 that talks on EHRM. So, what was the full form for that? It was Electronic Human Resource Management. So, today, before we move ahead with the topic, let me just give you a quick recap of what we studied for EHRM. So, students, as you know, these are the things that needs to be covered for the topic of EHRM, where in the previous lecture we had discussed about EHRM meaning and the characteristics of the same. Today, the focus shall be on the EHR activities, out of which we are going to study about e-recruitment and e-selection. So, to give you again a quick review about what did we mean by electronic HRM, so it was nothing but the human resource practices done electronically. We can also say that something which is a web-based HRM is electronic human resource management. To perform the human resource management activities with the use of internet and the other related technologies. We are using the web-based technologies, the web-based softwares with which we are performing the HR activities. So combined together, it becomes your electronic human resource management. The definition also said that it is a set of e-policies, e-methods, e-practices, and e-programs designed to maximize both the individual and the organizational goals. So if you remember, even HRM talks about both the objectives, organizational also and individual also. So those objectives will be achieved by performing different policies, methods, practices, programs. But can you see the letter E attached to it? So now these policies, methods, or practices have become electronic. So you can see the definition is some or the other same of HRM and EHRM, but there is a slight modification with the word electronic. Lastly, as I said, the HR departments make use of internet and the other related technologies to support their activities. In short, we can say that integration or combination of HRM with IT, with information technology, with the web-based softwares, web-based technology, it is your electronic human resource management. So we had done with the characteristics also in the previous lecture. Please have a look at it very quickly. The characteristics were number one that we have been talking about, that eHRM is a web-based HRM. As I said, it is an integration between HRM and IT. It is nothing but the web-based technologies which are used to perform the HRM activities. Which activities are we talking about? So it could be acquiring the human resources, it could be maintaining them, it could be developing or training them, and whatnot. So these activities have now been governed by the web or by the technologies. It was different from HRIS. So students, do you remember the full form I told you about HRIS? It was the Human Resource Information System. And what did it do? So it works for the collection, storage, maintenance, and retrieval of the data about human resource. Means whatever data is pertaining to the human resources working in your organization will be stored in this system. So the organization can use the data, can see for the data as and when they require. But that is completely different from what we talk on EHRM. Number three, definitely, comparatively, EHRM is innovative if you compare it with HRM. Why innovative? So we are even going to discuss today that how we are recruiting people online, how we are selecting people online, we are training them online. You are taking the interviews, the tests conducted online. So definitely it is innovative. It is much more scientific for the reason that if you compare with HRM, EHRM is quite time, cost, and energy effective. It will save the money, it will save the time, energy, and it is not that burdensome on the organization as well. Number five, so we will work for procuring the personnel, or I can say recruiting the people who have the necessary skills, abilities, intelligence. But how shall we recruit? So it will be done online by the use of internet and technology. So it is an integration. When I say integration, it is combining two things. On one hand, you have HRM that you already know, but on the other hand, you have information technology. You have the web based technologies that are used to perform the HRM functions. And lastly, it is more flexible because when we say that there are changes taking place every now and then in the economic environment, as compared to HRM, EHRM can adapt to those changes easily and faster. So it is flexible and it is more dynamic if you compare it with HRM. So this was all that we had done in the previous lecture to sum up as to what will be EHRM. Just remember that the HRM and the HRM activities that one has to perform when performed online or when performed electronically with the use of the IT or with the use of the web-based applications, it will nothing but EHRM, that is Electronic Human Resource Management. Now, in the previous lecture, we did not start the EHR activities, but I had very well told you that there are these different activities that come under the purview of EHRM. So it could be e-staffing, e-recruitment, e-selection, e-learning, e-training, e-performance appraisal, and e-compensation. So students, in this particular chapter, you have topics on e-recruitment, you have topic on e-selection, and lastly, you have topic on e-training also. So we are to start with these activities in today's lecture. I hope whatever you did in the previous lecture, with today's revision, you are clear with that. So if yes, let us begin with the first EHR activity for the chapter that talks on e-recruitment. Now, students, by now you should know that when I say e-recruitment, it is nothing but electronic recruitment. It is also known as online recruitment. So, are you aware about what do you mean by a simple recruitment? I'm not adding the word e right now, but I'm talking about recruitment. What do you mean by that? So it could be searching out or it could be attracting the required people for your organization so that you can recruit them for the job, you can select them for a job in your organization. So simply it could be a process where you are searching the prospective employees, you are stimulating them, you are encouraging them to apply for the jobs in the same. But now we are not studying recruitment. We are studying something that is e recruitment, online recruitment. So, the same process of searching the candidates, the same process of encouraging them to apply in your organization has now become electronic, will now be done by the online means. Again, a question comes that how can we recruit people online? How can we ask them, stimulate them to apply for jobs, or how can we search for people online? So, yes, it can be done. We are so updated in technology these days that definitely e recruitment, online recruitment is possible. from its beginning till its end. To name a few examples, the company can itself establish its own website. Now, all companies have their websites. So, on that website itself, they can use and they can make the recruitment page. Whereas a candidate, we can see the website, we can apply for the jobs that are mentioned over there. But also, the companies today make use of various recruitment websites as well. To name a few, you might have heard about Naukri.com, you might have heard about Monster.com, LinkedIn, and there are many more. These, you can say, websites help them to search out for the prospective candidates that they require for the job. So, by using so many means, so many, even the social media websites, they can search out for the candidates that they require for the job. So let us understand the meaning first. It is also known as online recruiting. As I said, it is online recruitment. It is a process of searching for the prospective employees and stimulating them to apply for the jobs in the organization. But it is which kind of a process, my students? It is the e process, it is the electronic process. Just remember that much. So then next question that I explained, when I say it is an e-process, how will we search electronically? So number one, I said you can add the recruitment to the existing organizational websites. Now, every organization has a website. On those websites, they can add the recruitment page also. They can add the recruitment details. They can write the information about the company. They can post the details about the job and what kind of skills, qualifications they require for the same. As a candidate, I can just go through the website. I can, if I am attracted towards a job, I can put my resume into that. I can upload the same. Number two, as I said, the companies make use of special recruitment websites also. It could be any sort of recruitment website where they can post their advertisement, they can advertise about the need of a particular candidate, about the job vacancies, and the candidates, the prospective candidates, can go through the same and apply for the job. They can develop interactive tools for processing job applications. There are a number of softwares and technologies that companies use for processing the job applications also, that we also call it online screening. I'm not going into that right now because we are going to study the same when we do the process. Lastly, they can use software for online recruitment and online screening of applications. As I said, it is online, so they need to use a software for that. But what is online screening? We will be taking up in a while in this lecture only. You can have a quick glance on some of the e-recruitment channels. As I said, it could be LinkedIn, a very famous recruitment website. It could be through the blogs, it could be through even the social media sites, it could be through the reputed university sites, it could be through online journals, some local social networks, etc. So above the organizational website, an organization can also make use of different other channels for e-recruitment. Again, this is an example how the recruitment previously used to take place, which you can see is without the word electronic, and how the electronic recruitment takes place today. If I talk about the previous process, it was a time consuming process, has its own pros and cons. But when we talk about e-recruitment, the time, energy, and money gets saved. And somewhat we can say that the errors and the mistakes can be reduced to a minimum over here. You can have a look at the process if you want. We don't have to learn the process. It was just to give you an idea how the process takes place previously and how it takes place electronically. So as you can see previously, you need to submit a hard copy. It is physically transferred. I'm talking about the hard copy of the resume that you have to submit to the company. There will be no automatic validation, and you cannot keep some fields compulsory. Sometimes it happens that the resume or the applications are quite incomplete, but one cannot do anything about it. On the other hand, you just post the recruitment advertisement on your website that you are recruiting people. There can be number of people across the national borders who can view it simultaneously. At one time, you can have number of people viewing that. There is a greater transparency also, and even it can be validated. The approvals workflow gets very speedily done. Also, you will not have the incorrect or incomplete job applications because they will be keeping some mandatory fields where compulsorily we need to enter the data. Also, the replies can be done automatically through emails. So you have a flexibility of talent pool of job requisitions that you receive. So I hope you got an idea about recruitment and e-recruitment. So after having studied the same, you can judge the benefits of e-recruitment. So you are giving a facility to apply online. Because you are giving the facility to apply online, it has a wider reach to it. It mostly crosses all the national borders. Person sitting and staying at any place whatsoever can access the website, can access the recruitment advertisement, and can apply online for the same. So it has reduced the cost, time, energy, and the administrative burden. A lot of things that used to take quite time, money, and energy earlier has now been saved. So in e-recruitment, you have to undergo some guidelines. When we say that organizations recruit people electronically online, there are some guidelines also that they have to follow. So which are these guidelines that you have to study? You can see the number one is it must be according to the strategic goals. Now, when I say strategic goals, we mean by the long term goals of an organization. So, when as a recruiter we are working for online or electronic recruitment, we should see to it that it satisfies the goals of an organization. We have to recruit such people that have the necessary skills and abilities to meet with the goals. Number two, develops the organizational image. See, the organizational image or the goodwill plays a very important role for e-recruitment because if the firm has a good reputation, it can make e-recruitment very easy and effective. Just because of the brand name, because of the image of the company, it can attract a great pool of talented people who will apply for the job that is required in the organization. Number three, so we know that it is easily accessible, it is easy, and people can access to the website very easily. They can apply for the given job, but only if they can get attracted for the same. Number four, developing the online screening system. So the recruiter or the company needs to also develop an online screening system based on job analysis. When I say online screening system, it is basically screening of the resumes or the applications that have been received from the candidates. They have to be screened so that we can get a shortlist of the candidates that can be called upon for the interviews or for the online testing. So this kind of system has to be reliable and valid. Number five, it needs to provide relevant information. So the companies, the organizations who are working for e-recruitment, they should pay attention that the online recruitment system gives complete and the relevant information about the company and the job positions for which the applicants are going to apply, so that they have a clear cut idea as to what will be expected from them in the job. What are the skills, what are the qualifications that are required in the job. So it has to be clearly mentioned. So even this guideline has to be fulfilled. Number 6, they can use the website to promote values as well. The website should be such that can show about the company's culture, that can show the company's values and ethics, so that the people who want to apply in the job gets attracted for the same. When you want to attract a pool of talented employees, you should even use your website to promote the values that are inbuilt in it. Number 7, they must also collect feedback from the applicants, from the candidates who have applied. It could be collecting feedback on the messages that are conveyed by the organizational website about the climate of the firm. Number 8, the organization needs to use appropriate language in the website. Such a language that is easy, lucid, and understandable by everybody. Whatever content is posted should be understandable by every candidate whatsoever. So it has to use an appropriate language also. So these were the few guidelines, few, I can say, the prerequisites that an organization should consider while undergoing e-recruitment. As we know, number 1, the goals, strategic goals should be met with. So whoever is going to be appointed should be such that is in conformity with the goals of the organization, should be able to develop an organizational image. Website has to be easily accessible, should develop online screening system. Website should give the relevant information about the company and the job. Use the website to promote values, collect feedback, and lastly, use an appropriate language. Few more guidelines regarding e-recruitment. So of course, it has to be quite simple. The system has to be simple and it has to be user friendly. When a candidate or an applicant gets attracted towards your job, he should find it simple to apply for the same. As number 10 rightly says, it should not be such a system that causes anxiety, confusion in the minds of job applicants. Number 11, it has to meet all the legal requirements. The recruitment taking place electronically should also be legally sound. It cannot be against some law. It cannot be illegal recruitment. Next is it should be free from the bias, basically religion and caste. That is quite a good point, because when a company is going for online recruitment or even any form of recruitment, it cannot be biased towards a particular religion or caste. Discrimination cannot be shown. So it has to be free from the bias. Number 13, it may attract frequent job seekers. If we know that there are people seeking the job, it must be able to attract them. The recruitment has to be so attractive that people having the best talent gets attracted to apply for the same in your organization. Number 14, it should attract all the sections of the society. As I said, without any bias, without any partiality, it has to attract all the sections, no discrimination whatsoever. Number 15 should be protecting the privacy of the individual also. The candidate's privacy has to be protected. The candidate who is uploading his resume, uploading his details, whether educational, whether personal, it cannot be leaked out. It has to be protected by the organization, needs to be treated confidential. Lastly, but very importantly, the recruitment also must be secured. The system that the organization is using has to be safe and secured. So this was the first EHR activity, that is e-recruitment, I hope you are clear with the meaning of e-recruitment, also known as online recruitment. You are clear with the guidelines that the organization will have to follow while performing the e-recruitment activity. Moving on with the second EHR activity, talks on e-selection. As I said in the chapter, you have to study in detail e-recruitment, e-selection, and e-training. This is number 2, which we shall be doing today. Talks on electronic selection, online selection. So, can you people think about how recruitment and selection are two different terms? Up till now, I'm not touching to the word electronic. But then what is selection? So a simple example is given on the right hand side of the slide that you may have received number of applications. There may be number of candidates or applicants who have applied for a given job in your organization. That was all done under recruitment, where you are getting list of job applications. But when we are talking about selection, out of the entire pool of applications received, out of the entire pool of job applications that you have received, you need to select only a few. That could be based on the skills that they possess, the talents that they possess, based on the job requirement that we as an organization want, or based on different interviews or tests that are conducted. So e-selection would be nothing but basically hiring the best candidate, selecting the best candidate from the pool of applications that you have received. But when we are doing EHRM, by now you know this thing, then even that selection will be done electronically. It will be an online selection of the candidates. So students, in simple words, e-selection is the e-hiring of the best candidate from the pool of e-applications. So whatever applications you received online, electronically, while you were recruiting the people, now you have to hire the best candidate out of it. And then it becomes e-selection. You can see the objectives also similar to recruitment, even it helps in cost reduction. Of course, it is cost, time, energy effective. Number 2, you can make the maximum possible use of human capital. Number 3, time saving. And number 4, sustainability. The efforts can be sustained of e-selection. So again, a line for it. It is used to identify the best job candidates with the right knowledge, skills, and abilities for a particular job. You are able to identify the best candidate who has the best talent that is required for a job. Because after all, we want to make a scientific selection. We want to select the right person for the right post and at the right time. Lastly, the scientific procedure of e-selection will require two things. Which two? So first you need to have the knowledge about the qualities that a person should possess in order to do a given job. First of all, you need to know as to what qualities are actually required to do the job. And secondly, you need to evaluate the qualities as well, whether the candidate has the quality or not. Once both of them match, that is, once you have found the candidate who has the quality desired by the organization and by the job, you can select the same. So then it becomes e-selection. Now students, just like you did guidelines for e-recruitment, for e-selection you have a very important answer on different stages of e-selection, as to what steps needs to be followed while you are selecting the people online. We are going to go with each and every step point by point, but at present you can just have a glance on the steps. I would be explaining them in brief right now, and then we go for a detailed discussion of the same. So the process of e-selection, you can see, is divided into 7 steps. And mind well, when you are learning the answer or when you will be writing the answer for exams, it has to be written in the same order, in the same sequence, because it is actually a sequence of steps that we have to perform while selecting the people online. So number one, the organization first plans out for e-selection. Number two, once the planning is done and once we have created the recruitment information on our website, the resumes will be uploaded by the job seekers. Number three, online screening of the resumes will be done. Number four, once we have done the screening, we would go for online testing of the candidates. Number five, those who pass out the online test will now be called for the online interview. Once they pass that interview, number six, we can give them the e-offer letter. And once that is done, they will be finally given the e-appointment letter and will be called upon for placement in the organization. I think we will be discussing each and every point in the next lecture in detail. That is, we are going to talk on different stages of e-selection from the next lecture. So a quick recap for today's lecture, what we have done. So students, after having revised EHRM and characteristics, we had started with the first EHR activity, that was e-recruitment. Other name was online recruitment, and we have done the definition for the same. We have understood how e-recruitment can take place and how an organization takes online recruitment and recruits people electronically. We got an idea about different e-recruitment channels, how e-recruitment is different from the previous process of recruiting, the benefits we have studied. There were some guidelines, some prerequisites that an organization has to follow while recruiting the people. So you have gone through all the guidelines. We have discussed them one by one. Thereafter, we began with the second EHR activity, that was e-selection, where we are selecting the best candidate out of the pool of applications received while recruiting them. We studied the objectives, the scientific procedure of selecting people, and I gave you a quick glance on the different stages of e-selection. From the next lecture, we shall be working upon every stage. We shall be understanding every stage of e-selection in detail. I hope you are clear with the topics that we have covered in today's lecture. In case you will be having any doubts or queries, feel free to comment them in the Google Classroom of your respective class, and I shall be answering to them at the earliest. Until then, you may keep learning with the same. Always do self-study. Make use of the lectures that we are giving you every day, the online lectures, and thank you so much for the day. We shall be meeting in the next lecture, and where we will be discussing further on e-selection and e-training. Until then, happy learning.